Hello and welcome to our next poem. Mama kana kiniseni. I can't call you mom, I can't call you mommy. Short little poem, really easy. If they ask this, you are going to be in the pound seats. You're going to do really, really well with this. Trust me with these notes. Everything that is important will be in these summaries, so follow it closely. I've got the Afrikaans here, I've got the English here, and I promise you will be sorted with this poem. So it should take about 20 or 30 minutes. We must do it properly. You must learn these things properly so that you are sorted. I just want to see that I am in fact recording. Yes, I am. Please, just a little bit of advertising, if you could excuse me. This is how I just make my income. You will, if you haven't seen this purple book, this is the grammar book. If you don't have it, you're losing out. If you're in grade 10, 11, grade 9, 10, 11, 12, you don't have the grammar book, then it's you're just leaving marks on the table. It's just a no-brainer. You have to have it. I'll tell you how to get it now. This is the new book, not quite available yet. It will be soon, very soon. Awesome, the whole book, explained in detail. Every single detail is in there. I'll make you would have seen I've made a tutorial on that on YouTube. I'll do another one or two, and then all the poem notes. Just get a copy. This is how you get a copy. You go to CNA, you get a copy. It's locked down now, but so you won't be able to buy a hard copy. The blue one here is not yet in CNA. It will be soon. Purple one's there. Go to ITSI website. You can pick up the book. The blue one will be there soon. If you prefer a hard copy, you just want to order a hard copy. I can't do one by one, but if you get 6 mates together or get your class together, get the school to pay, put it on your account, it can be done. A lot of schools do it. If you want information, there's the email, admin@madesimplerange.com. Melissa and myself will answer. If you need to be more direct, WhatsApp. You can also watch my Whatsapp statuses. I'll always, if there's updates on anything, I'll put it on there. And please share the link of the channel or of the video on your WhatsApp status so all your friends can see it. And that way it just goes viral, and it really, really helps your friends. Also really helps me to make a living out of this. Okay. I'm also a teacher, and as you know, teachers are we drive old cars. We don't make money. We're just trying to survive. So I'm just trying to help. I got just a quick story. I got a comment on WhatsApp saying that someone said, I would rather get the coronavirus than listen to your poetry analysis. And then before I could reply, they blocked me on WhatsApp. So I hope I'm not that terrible. I hope this actually helps and is of some benefit to someone out there. It's not my intention to bore you. People also say I look very depressed when I'm doing poetry. So I'll try to look a little bit happier and try to make it a little bit livelier. But just please don't be don't be mean to me. Unfortunately, I'm past the age of taking things personally. So that is fine. If you wanna send a mean comment, then you're welcome to do it. Anyway, Mama kana kiniseni. What a poem! Quite a heavy content matter. I think that's why people find it quite depressing. But anyway, so let's look at the title here. We're going to go through this. There's the Afrikaans, there's the English. Let's get the English down first, get the translations, and then we'll go into the interpretation. Here's a ton of notes here for you. Everything you need are in these notes. It'll be in the book. Quickest way to pick up would be just to get the book. It'll be available before you write June exams or trial exams or final exams. Definitely, that would be my honestly be my advice. So let's look at the story here. Mama kana kiniseni. I can't say mommy. I can't call you mom. That's the title. Look at the sentence here. Ek onthou die engel het my van die rand van Wik en Weeg afgeskop in jou. That whole thing is one long sentence. Okay. I remember the angel kicked me down from the edge of uncertainty, of weighing in uncertainty. So someone was hesitant, someone was weighing up pros and cons of a certain decision, okay, but then an angel kicked me down, kicked the fetus down into making this decision. So this decision is about pregnancy. Okay, do we want this child? So an angel intervened and took the decision away from the mother and father perhaps, and kicked the child down into the uterus, and so this child was now developing and obviously was going to be born. Alright, onmoontlik, sê hulle. Impossible, they say. We'll look at what that means, who these people are that are saying it's impossible. Impossible to what? Om te weet voor die tyd. Om te weet van voor die tyd. They say it's impossible to have a memory of when you were still in your mother's womb. A fetus cannot carry memories from that stage into their born state where they are now a baby, a human. Experts say no. They say no, it's not possible. You cannot remember stuff. Okay? But the narrator says very interestingly, maar ek het geweet wat ek nou weet. But I knew what I know now. And what is that? What is this narrator know? What is this girl? We're assuming it's a girl. It could be a boy. It doesn't really say. What does she know? She knows this. As jy na my kyk, is ek nie in jou oë nie. When you look at me, so this is probably the mother. Okay, when you look at me, is ek nie in jou oë nie. I'm not in your eyes. I'm not there. I'm absent. Okay, so a short poem, very powerful. We have to unpack it a little bit. So it's short, but there are lots of potential questions that they could ask you. So that's where I come in. I'm going to guess what they're going to ask, and you'll see my notes are short. They are precise, but because they're short, you have to sort of learn all the vocab inside of it. Don't think that anything that I've typed here is not relevant. Everything is relevant. Okay, so I put in everything that could possibly be relevant. I just want to see that we are recording, because I did this whole thing and then just before the end we got a load shedding and I lost my whole thing, which was rather discouraging. Anyway, so let's look at the title first of all. Okay, so let's say, so yeah, mama kan ek nie sê nie. I can't say mama. I can't call you mama. Okay, so what is this mama thing, mommy? So even mommy is like a pet name. It's like a troetelnaam wat liefde vir jou ma wys. When you call your mom by her first name, that would be in Afrikaans culture certainly very disrespectful. You don't call your mom Jessica if her name's Jessica. You call her mom or mommy. Okay, so mama is an affectionate term. It's a respectful term. So clearly, this narrator, what can we deduce from this? Wat is die afleiding? Wat is die gevolgtrekking? Die spreker het verwyte. She blames her mom. There's serious blame issues here. Okay, sy blameer haar ma. Sy het verwyte teenoor haar ma sy het min liefde, sy het min respek. Okay? En die redes volg in die gedig. The reasons for this follows in the poem. And there are no concrete sort of reasons. They're more intuitive, sort of abstract, what's the word? Figurative, implied reasons. Okay, there's nothing concrete that we can point to in the poem. We can only guess. And we will guess. We'll make a few suggestions. So we'll look at that. So it's also in inverted commas. It's in quotation marks there. That could be a question. So why? Why is it in quotation marks? Well, it's because she doesn't use that way of addressing her mom. Die aanhalingstekens is omdat die aanspreekvorm nie deur die spreker gebruik word nie. She doesn't call her mother mommy. She calls her something else. If I would guess, probably by her first name, which is quite something, especially in the Afrikaans culture. I've never sort of heard of something like this happening, but I mean, anything is possible. So she says, ek onthou die engel. So I remember. So who's the I? So the I narrator is probably a teenage girl, but there's no real proof for this in the poem. We're totally making a guess here, I would say based on the context of all the other poems. They were all based on teenage people, teenage girls, teenage boys. So the feeling, that the sort of atmosphere just suggests that it's a teenage girl. So I say there, al is daar geen werklike bewyse, there's no real proof in the poem that this is a teenage girl. Okay. So ek onthou die engel het my van die rand van wilk en weer. From the edge of making a drastic decision, this angel saved her. So my note here is, die spreker sê, the narrator says, dat haar ma nie wou swanger wees nie. She did not want to be pregnant. But there was divine intervention. Die engel het ingegryp. The angel intervened into the pregnancy. En die swangerskap is voltooi. The pregnancy was completed and the child was born. Okay, so the child was unwanted. But there was some sort of spiritual, supernatural, perhaps, intervention that made this child develop and come through. Okay, and to me, I don't know if I'm pushing the envelope a little bit. Just check this with your teacher. Maybe if you haven't done the poem in class and this is just your prep for class time, ask your teacher about this. Doesn't this remind you of the Jesus story where Maria she did not have any sexual relations. Suddenly she's pregnant and her husband's like, how did this happen? And she said, well, God made it happen. An angel made it happen, or whatever. Put yourself in the shoes of, it's Joseph, eh? Put yourself in the shoes of Joseph there. Saying, well, my wife's pregnant. I didn't sleep with her. This is very suspicious. And so it was as the story goes, it was a miraculous conception. Okay, so it's almost a little bit of an intertextual play between the Jesus story. Dit klink amper na die Jesus storie met Maria wat geskok was dat sy swanger is en dalk nie altyd die kind wou hê nie. I can imagine that Maria was like, I'm going to get stoned to death under the Jewish law because I did not have sex with a man, and now I'm pregnant, and now my story is that God made me pregnant. How many people are actually going to believe this? So it must have been unreal. So in the same sense, in this poem, an angel sort of solidified or caused the pregnancy, although there's no denial that there was any actual sexual relations. Then there's that word. Let's just go to afgeskop first before we discuss wik en weeg. So afgeskop in jou, kicked down. This angel kicked down this baby. That's a very strong verb. Baie sterk, direk, gewelddadige actie. Very strong, direct, sort of almost a violent kind of action. So this is important. Die engel maak die besluit namens die ma. The angel makes the decision on behalf of the mother. She removed, the mother was like, I'm hesitating. Well, I don't know if I want this child. What must I do? The angel stepped in, made a decision on behalf of the mother. Said, I'm kicking down this child. It is coming down. So, die engel het op magiese of 'n religieuse manier ingegryp om die kind se geboorte om die kind se geboorte te bewerkstellig, to establish, bewerkstellig is to establish the child's birth, geboorte. Ingegryp means intervened. The angel took over. It's like, no, this child's being born. I'm kicking it down into your uterus. That is it. So afgeskop, also there versus ingeskop. Afgeskop is stronger than ingeskop. Af is like down, kick down. So it comes from the heavens. It comes from a divine place. Afgeskop wys dat die baba van die hemele afkom. Dalk was daar 'n goddelike mag. Maybe there was some godly power wat die swangerskap veroorsaak het. On a sort of very literal biological sense, it could refer to the kick of the fetus. It's like, you've seen these programs, people don't know that they're pregnant, and then they feel something like kicking in their stomach, like, am I bloated, am I gassy, what's going on? They go for a scan, and then they find out they're pregnant. So that kicking could also refer to the actual kicking of the fetus, of the baby. Okay, let's just discuss this wik en weeg. So there's the W alliteration there. Rand van wik en weeg, on the edge of hesitance, of hesitation, of doubt. Okay, huiver, hesitating. So it could refer to three things here, just three notes here that you need to just learn and remember. So it could refer to the fact that the mother or the father's voorbehoedmiddel het nie gewerk nie. Voorbehoedmiddel is contraception. The pill, the condom, the whatever, did not work. Oh, and we have a problem. We are pregnant. Okay, what do we do? Do we want a baby? We don't want a baby. We're not ready. Whatever the case might be. Wik en weeg. Ooh, what are they wik en weeging about? Okay, what are they hesitating about? What are they wondering about? What are they indecisive about? This. I think it can only be this. Abortie. They are considering abortion. Do we terminate the fetus? Do we kill the fetus? Okay. And then I was just sort of thinking it might be a little bit of a stretch, and I'm sure many, if there are teachers watching there, they might not agree with me, and that's fine. I'm just putting it out tentatively. I'm not saying that I necessarily agree with it. It just crossed my mind. That maybe the mother it's a situation where the mother was verkragt, raped, and now she's pregnant. And just Googling it, it was saying that 40% of women at some stage in their life South African women will be raped. They will be raped. 40%. So almost half if you walk in a very public place, almost half the women that you see have been raped. Okay, that is 57 women per day get raped in South Africa. I think it's the highest statistic in the world. Right, so this is an Afrikaans problem. This is the African setting. So I don't think, maybe my idea is not that far-fetched. I think there are many instances. There's a couple, husband and wife, boyfriend, girlfriend gets raped, she's pregnant. Of course you're going to Vik and Veeg. What is the, I mean, there are so many factors that you need to take into account. Your perhaps your religion, your ethics, your emotional well-being, your relationship with your partner. All those sort of things can come into play. Anyway, that's just a side thought. Onmoontlik, sê hulle. Who are these hulle? What are they saying? They're saying it's impossible. It's impossible to know or to remember or to have any memory of you being a fetus. You don't remember swimming around in your mother's uterus. Okay? This narrator said she remembers. She remembers the feeling that her mother had towards her. So they could ask you, who are these hulle? Who are these people? We could say they are doctors, they are experts, deskundiges, they are friends, they are parents. They'll say, no, you're losing the plot here. You can't know that for a fact. There is in fact no bewyse. There's no proof. There's no research that a fetus iets kan onthou nie. That a fetus can remember something. You don't remember when you were born. Okay. Die spreker voel dat sy al voor geboorte geweet het dat haar ma haar nie liefhet nie. So her claim is that her mother did not know or did not love her even before birth. She was unwanted, and she's still unwanted, and she can still feel it. It's so strong that it reminds her of the time when she was in the fetus, and she could feel that, oh, she was a mistake, she was unwanted. Okay. There's die vooroplasing. So they start vooroplasing is it means they put the word onmoontlik in front there. Okay, vooroplasing van onmoontlik. Die woord aan die begin van die sin beklemtoon die sterk onwaarskynlikheid dat die kind iets kon geweet het van haar ma se liefde. So obviously the vooroplasing emphasizes the word, but remember, you can't just say that. You have to explain. You have to say what is it? What idea does it emphasize? What is the idea? It emphasizes the improbability, onwaarskynlikheid, that the child could have known something about her mother's love before she was born. Om te weet van voortydse tyd. Okay? Voortydse tyd. What does this refer to? Wat verteenwoordigt dit? Well, it refers to the time before the child was born, en dalk ook voor bevrugting, and even before conception. So, yeah, voortydse tyd. It's a bit vague. I'm not really sure what they mean here, but I think it's just before the child was born, when the child was still a fetus. Not really before actual conception, because there's nothing before conception. There's a sperm cell and an egg, so it's not really something yet, is it? I might be wrong, but I think if you say it's before, voor die kind se geboorte, then you should be safe. She says maar. Now, every time there's a conjunction, you're looking for the fact that it's like a vending of some sorts. It's like a change. in the poem or an explanation. I'm just going to put in the word wending, okay, or often sometimes they say a verskuiving, a shift in the poem. Die kind sê sy weet sy is ongewens. The child says she knows that she's unwanted. Ongewens, you're going to have to learn that word. Sy weet die liefdesband wat nou nie daar is nie, was ook nie voor geboorte daar nie. That's essentially what she's saying. She's saying she knows that the love bond that's not there now was also not there before her birth. Okay, maar ek weet wat ek nou weet. What does she know now? She knows her mother doesn't love her. Okay, so after that dubbelpunt thing there, na die dubbelpunt, this is 'n verduideliking van hoe die kind weet haar ma het haar nooit lief gehad nie. So it's an explanation of how she knows that her mother doesn't love her. She has supposed proof. She knows. There's something that makes her tell, that makes her certain that the mother doesn't love her and never loved her. Okay? What is it? It says, as jy na my kyk, is ek nie in jou oë nie. When you look at me, I'm not in your eyes. Okay, so just to be clear, the as jy na my kyk, the jy is the ma, die my is die kind. Okay, so we know that. That's kind of obvious. Nie in jou oë nie. This is an interesting phrase. Okay, so the eyes are always, when they talk about eyes and windows and that sort of thing, you always know it's always going to attract a question in a test or exam. Die kind kan haar ma se emosies in haar oë lees. So the child, on one level, she can read her mother's emotions in her eyes. The eyes often don't lie. When we communicate, the expressions of the eyes, I forget the percentage or whatever they said now, but it's quite a big part of interpersonal communication. The note here says, dit is hartseer, sad en ironies and ironic, en tref die kind so diep dat het voel of sy al van voor haar geboorte hartseer gevoel. It hits her, when she looks in her mother's eyes, it hits her so hard that feeling of, I don't love you, or I'm just caring for you because it's my duty, hits her so hard. It could also perhaps mean that she doesn't look like her mom. I'm just thinking of that now. Teken dat dalk dat sy nie na haar ma lyk nie. En dalk lyk sy soos die verkragter. And that sort of provides a little bit of evidence, I suppose, for my wild theory that this pregnancy could be from a rape. Maybe when she looks at her mother's eyes, she sees the eyes of the rapist, and or when the mother looks at the child's eyes, she sees the resemblance of the man that raped her. Okay, so but that's a bit okay. I'm just putting it's quite an sort of fringe interpretation. I wouldn't necessarily bet my house on that. I don't have a house. I wouldn't bet my fishing gear on that. But it just sort of makes sense when she looks at him. As jy na my kyk, is ek nie in jou oë nie. When you look at me, I'm not in your eyes. Maybe she takes after her father strongly. She can she can see the rapist's eyes in her child's eyes. Okay, but again, that's a French theory. Don't just like shoot for that straight into your exam. It's maybe just the fact that she sees that there's no emotion in her mom's eyes. Die kind kan haar ma se emosies in haar oë lees. Haar ma's hartseer. Haar ma het haar nie lief nie. So you can say, yes, what's going on here? Daar's geen liefde. Daar's geen liefde nie. That would be the safe answer. There's no love. Okay, let's look at the rhyme structure. What are we dealing with here? It's a free verse. There's no rhyme. There's hardly any punctuation. There's no capitals. There's no structure here. There's a colon there. Nothing really meaningful in terms of punctuation. So if we look at this rhyme and structuur, it's a free verse. There's no rhymes, no structure. There's why? So what is the function of this? I always ask this question. It's a nice one to see if pupils understand the poem. Die afwesigheid van rym en struktuur versterk die idee dat die liefde afwesig is. So the absence of rhyme and structure strengthens the idea of the absence of love. Okay, if you say that, it's like marks. The examiner would just be like, geez, this child is like, what is this? This is so cool, this is so correct. So, okay, also die versreëls is baie kort en die woorde is min. Okay, so look how short these lines are. They're like 1, 2, 3, 4, hardly 4, 5 words at the most. No, not even 1, 2, 3. The longest one is 4 words. Okay, that's unusually short, I would say. So what does that mean? Where's my... So die versreëls is baie kort en die woorde is min. The words are very few. So why is this functional? Well, it fits with the idea that there's very little love. Few words and very little love for this child, for the possible reasons that we have discussed. What's the theme? I think it's quite simply this. You can say it differently. There's more than one right answer here. Die afwesigheid van moederlike liefde is hartseer en affekteer 'n kind geweldig. The absence of motherly love is very sad and affects a child geweldig, tremendously. It affects them tremendously. It's massive. Okay, so all these notes will be in the book. Please just get the book. It'll make your life very, very simple. If you struggle with grammar, you don't have to struggle. Here's this book. There's the purple book. There are also the cheat sheets book. Look at ITSI. Go to CNA. We are currently in lockdown, but when the things open up again, you'll be able to get the books. I can't get this book. Will be on ebook format very, very soon. Just watch out for my WhatsApp status in the channel. I'll put that on. Please share this link to your on your WhatsApp status so that your friends can see it. If they're also in IEP schools, that'll really, really help me. And yeah, that's about it. So I think that's our last IEP poem. So now I'll go back to Asem and do a few more of those things. Signing out for now. Stop recording. I hope that helped. Please don't leave mean comments. It doesn't affect me, but it's I'm actually dying. It does affect me. So just a like or a nice comment will help to keep me positive and keep me going during lockdown, which absolutely sucks. Okay, stay safe, wash your hands, and all the rest of those things. Bye.